Yeah. Welcome back for lunch. I hope that everybody will be able to stay awake after they now had a big meal to listen to my presentation. So I will give you an introduction of a relatively new computer on module standard called OSM. Just a few things on Adlink. We are a Taiwanese company founded almost 30 years ago. Our founder is still the CEO and is still a major shareholder of our company. We are roughly doing 400 million US dollar turnover. And if you like, our shares are for sale. You can find us at the Taiwan Stock Exchange. We are having our headquarters in Taipei in Taiwan, where we also have, say, our major design center. But we are also having 2 design centers in Europe, several in Asia, and also one in USA. Until recently, we had, say, mirror production site in Taiwan and China. But since many people is a little bit concerned about the political tension between the 2 countries, we are now also opening a mirrored site in Vietnam to mitigate these risks. We are having, say, in both our production sites, we are having, say, redundancy. So basically, if something happens, we can continue in the other factory without any interruptions. Production equipment, production setup, everything remains the same. And it's also one of the differentiators between us and some of our colleagues is that we are having our production internally. So what is a COM? So it's been touched upon also by some of the previous presenters, but I will just give you a short recap. So COM is a computer on module. It can be based on many different architectures, but most common is x86 and ARM. There are 2 ways to address the COM module market. There are some manufacturers who are focusing on proprietary standards to try to usually trying to optimize, say, what they can retrieve out of the SoCs. And then there are manufacturers which are following, say, open standards, which are defined in, say, non-profit organizations. Adlink has a strategy to follow, say, the open standards. So it basically means that, say, modules from us will follow the same standardizations as you find from our major colleagues. We also do carrier board designs, but we are more importantly, we are also, say, more than happy to produce customer-designed carrier boards and deliver, say, module and carriers as a kind of bundle to our customers. There are many, many standards inside our industry. Most important for the COM market is the COM Express and thereof related COM HPC standard. Q7 was, say, the beginning of small size, low power modules, which is now more or less mitigated into SMARC. And following this, say, there are now coming also a new standard called OSM. OSM is, say, from a performance point of view and from a size point of view, so far the smallest standard you find of the open standard modules. So what is OSM? Open standard module. One of the main differentiators is that it's solderable. So basically, it's, say, from a mounting point of view, you can regard it as any other component with a BGA package. So there are no external connectors needed to integrate it into your PCB. The other important thing is that the standard offers up to 662 pins. This means that all pins that you find on the SoCs you will be able to access them. This is typically one issue you see with other open module standards, is that the standard does not really allow to connect all pins of the SoCs. Compared to, for instance, ComExpress, which is dedicated to x86, Open Standard Module is an multi-architecture, so it means that it allows, or it's defined for both ARM and x86. The idea is to bring out major SoC functionality, and to keep on the module, you keep the SoC, memory, and SSD. That's basically it. The rest you keep on your module. Short term, we have already launched the first 3 products, which are now ready for in mass production, and we see, say, more and more modules coming out of this. We basically have decided that OSM will be the building block we will use for our module designs. Where we use it for other standards, we will use our OSM designs as a building block. This also means that, say, in coming years, OSM would be the module standard where we will, say, be launching initially or faster than what we will do with, say, modules designed according to, for instance, SMARC or ComExpress. The OSM standard offers different sizes. We have decided only to focus on the large form factor. The smaller sizes, so medium, small, and 0, are somehow also more dedicated to microcontrollers, which is not really within our scope. But basically, you find the same setup there. Here you see also on the picture the BGA structure. Say the 45 by 45 millimeter. This is the standard that we have decided to use. And say if we look at the competitors, because this is also an important thing for say modules following an open standard, this seems to be also the trend that most of our colleagues in the business are also following the 45 by 45 millimeter standard. It is super small, yeah. 42 by 42 millimeters is really, say, compact. But still, it offers the possibility to dissipate more than 40 watts. So, which means that we can also integrate quite powerful x86 platforms onto this module standard. It also offers the opportunity, since it's so compact, that if you are having a large system designed PCB, you can, say, get away with having this PCB in relatively small number of layers, because, say, the many layer stacks can then be on the OSM module itself. This is also, say, one of the things where we see an advantage for OSM is basically as a cost down for system designs, that you can decrease your PCB cost. Besides, compared to other module standards, there's no connector involved. If you compare, say, size-wise, say, SMARC was until recently considered, say, a small size, but it occupies only around about half the size. The other thing with the other standards is that since it's connector-based, it builds upon the height. Here, the only addition the module imposes into your design is basically the thickness of the PCB we use. So, this is our roadmap. We are, say, already having the first 3 or 4 modules launched in mass production. We have samples out of the IMX95. You can come to my table afterwards if you have some specifics on a specific SoC. We will be bringing out really a lot of modules in this standard. Sorry. One thing which is, I forgot, so I stay. Pleasure. So one thing which also is a important part of the OSM standard, and which is being discussed very much in the industry with, say, among us and our colleagues, is how to handle the liability. So how do you handle the liability of a module which the end customers are soldering onto their PCBs? We basically have two ways to try to mitigate these risks. One is that we offer to produce the customer's carrier boards and deliver it as a ready-made solution, so we are responsible for this. The alternative is that we have, say, special quality agreement, special soldering guidelines, which then needs to be followed and documented so that we can guarantee, say, the quality level of the OSM modules. So one of the things is, say, with even though the standard is supporting also x86, we believe that, say, ARM in the lower end market of x86 will basically be eating more and more of this market. So here we are showing you an example of where we compare an Intel Atom platform with a MediaTek ARM-based platform. And basically what you see is that, say, performance-wise, it outperforms the Atom platform. And if you compare it to the power consumption, say, you really gain huge advantages. Also, when you consider GPU uses. This is also one of the, say, upsides we see, that, say, the ARM processors will becoming more and more mainstream in the and taking over more and more from the low-end x86. On the top, you see also our development kits. Our development kits for all our small-size module standards is developed so that they follow the Raspberry Pi interface. So basically means that if you have Raspberry Pi accessories, then you can connect them to our development kits and then do your proof of concept relatively easy. From a cost point of view, I've been touching upon the power saving. From a cost point of view, we also see that ARM is getting, say, more and more advantage over x86. As a guideline, if we compare, say, similar performance between the two, we see that there is a saving of around 30%. Yeah. So, any questions, or otherwise you can also come and visit me at my table. Okay, thank you.